Hey guys, it's Parker here, back at part 35 and 36. Oh my gosh, I think this is one of the longest playthroughs I have ever done for this channel. So, well, this game is pretty long, so just bear with me. The end is near, I think. Alright, yeah, we're back in court after we did that fun little investigation with Mikatoba and Sholmes. I think that was the best part of this case so far. No, the trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword, okay? And you should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony, and there can only be one conclusion, that the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? Far from it. There's still a crucial witness from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony, and he still haven't explained your, you being hired as a freaking assassin. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible. The witness is already on his way and is scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who on earth is this crucial witness? Jigoku. Seishiro Jigoku. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku, you found him? Yeah. But the investigation's every policing resource in the capital suggests that Jigoku's already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess at the port of Dunkirk, thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes' famous deductions. Herlock Sholmes. Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death, because along with Prosecutor Sogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify y'all, I'm like really tired today, so my reading may be really off. Who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Girls on the 31st October. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to adjudication at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. I'm gonna do my best to read. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections for either side. No, my lord. No objections, my lord. We live to fight another day by the skin of our teeth. To be continued. Alright, I'm gonna have my lives back because I only had 3 lives in that time. Save. The unexpected halt of proceedings and a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mrs. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. Ooh, is that pie I see? And chicken? We have returned, my dear fellows. Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help. Think nothing of it. I believe you had an even more wearing day than Mikatoba and I know. You could say that. We're on the brink of defeat in court earlier. So this prosecutor, Asogi, had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say? Haha, friend. Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Kasuma's changed. Oh, Mrs. Naruhodo. I mean, it's incredible to think that he's even entertained the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin. Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. When all this started, almost a year ago now. Remember that part? Mr. Sholmes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France. Well, it is in our country, Mr. Sholmes, so what news did you judge Goku? We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man. Poor Professor Megotoba, this must be quite a shock to him. Ah yes, I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. What is it? Sure you haven't forgotten already. I put it upon you for the matter only yesterday. You put it upon me, Sholmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well. Oh, you had the reply already? Well, it's so urgent though, Mr. Sholmes. Such matters can wait until later. Far too hungry for an involved conversation at present. Well, that's good news, because supper's ready, everyone. Ah, what a feast it is. I were none the wiser. I think the child won already. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak and kidney pie, Yorkshire pudding. Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up. In that case, I think I'll see myself just here. This place appears to be the only set with a helping a peasant as well. Ooh. Oh, sorry, Hurley, not there. Why ever not? Are we in set places this evening? Yes, and that place is for Susie's daddy. For me? Moi? That's right, I made it especially for you, Professor Mickey. I see. Well, that's terribly kind of you. It's a shame, really. What do you mean? WDYM. Well, for a brief moment, I believed it. That Susie and I are half-sisters, I mean, I don't think y'all are half-sisters, right? Iris, do you mean we're not? Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I can't read today. I secretly listened to a conversation you had after I tricked you all into thinking I left. What? I mean, do you think Iris would just like do nothing while this is all going on? But actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Megotoba are Iris' father. Then who is Iris' father? Yes, about that, Iris. You know, I know. You can't tell me at the moment. Oh, Iris. The peasant is by way of an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping. Oh, no, that's quite alright. Then why don't I get any apologetic peasant? Because you lied to Iris. So just who is Iris' father? I suppose this is something we'll be finding out today. Like, I guess we'll know later in the future. Let us die while our largely peasantless plates are still piping hot. I mean, I don't think Megotoba can eat all the peasant. Eat as much as you like, there are always seconds. This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial about the telegram from Japan and about Kasuma. I can't let this opportunity slip away. I don't know why, like, he shows sitting like that is so funny to me. Alright, Sholmes, I think you need to talk to us about something. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? I think so far Sholmes is still my favorite character, and then after him it's Madame Tuspels. I'm sorry, but she's like one of the best characters. I felt the need to withdraw for the social circle for a while. Look on with hungry eyes. Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that peasant especially for Susie's daddy. Even though I played the role of father to you for far longer. Mr. Sholmes, could I discuss some things with you? Certainly, my dear fellow, I found myself quite in a mood for a spell conversation. No doubt. You're hungry to learn more of my deep love of game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. You need to look at me in that fashion. In what fashion? It seems that before we discuss the peasant, we have some rather unpleasant matters to discuss. The puns here in this game. Oops, not examine. Converse. So, what was in the telegraph you received back from Japan then? Ah, this? I think my lucky stars arrived in time. Our core found is as indicated. Duplicate follows. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. Wow, this is all very familiar names here. What? Those 4 names? We've come across this exact same list before. Yeah, back in the last case. In the first game, it was a secret message. Turned up by masking monumental intrigue. Oh, man. That case made me sad because we actually, like, met Mr. Windy Banks. We actually, like, talked to him, and then he freaking died the next day. It was just very sad. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So, why are the names coming up again now? Yes, where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes? I have here the message I had read yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Judge Shigoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names. Need by tomorrow. Naruhodo. What? I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature. You asked Inspector Hosonaga to undertake such an onerous task? Hey, it's Inspector Hosonaga, the bro. And in my name? I wonder what guise he opted for this time. I don't know. His disguises kind of remind me of Team Rocket's. Anyway, the list of names was found in Seishiro's office as shown as predicted. So you mean that mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was... It was sent to Judge Goku. He was the intended recipient. I don't believe it. But why? But that doesn't answer the question what the list of names actually signifies. Why though? I did form my hypothesis about that. But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Sholmes looks deadly serious for once. Okay, let me examine this actually. Okay. Very short report. That tragedy we had to go through on SS Buria. Buria? It was all for nothing. Kazuma wasn't dead at all. I thought he was dead. Okay. At the time, we were completely taken by the lie he told us. Your great detective's lie. Just imagine being a Japanese player because this game was only released in Japan at the time and we only got this remake just now, like last year, for the rest of the world. Just imagine being a Japanese player and you play the first game and you thought Kazuma's dead and then you wait like 2 to 3 years for the second game to arrive and then realize, oh, he's not dead. Like, I don't know. I think that would be such a brain fart for the person, for the people who played this game like way before us. Because like for now we could like play the first one and second game like right after because it's in the Chronicles, but like just imagine waiting 3 years just to find out Kazuma isn't dead. I don't know. I don't know why that's so funny to me. That's just a funny idea to me. Oh yeah, they did encourage Ryunosuke and Susato to like go ahead to Great Britain, I remember. Gosh. Oh my gosh, I think I had played the first game like several months ago because the game is so long. Like like the channel just like pumps out these videos really slowly. Listen here, I'm just one person and doing my best. So, you manipulated me? I've often remarked on exerting links to which friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you rise the chance for your late friend. I don't believe it. So, from the start, it was all just like planned for Ryunosuke and Sato to be here. Huh. I don't know, I think that's like a trend of Japanese games. Like the main characters go through a journey, or yeah, and then Like at the end, it was all manipulated for you to be at this particular place at this particular time. I don't know why that seems to be a trend in Japanese games, but like, you know, I guess it's just like a cultural thing for Japanese games. I wonder if she made it to America then. I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go through such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-san from reaching Britain? The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see. Oh, but why? An omen that, at this very moment in time, is close at hand. An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand? We need to find out exactly what Mr. Sholmes knows. What are you talking about, Sholmes? Okay, guess I'll just present this. Like, what are you talking about? There is no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You're very clear that it was Judge Yugoku's office that should be searched, so you obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. But we only learned of these 4 names just over 6 months ago now, and only because they appeared as part of the top secret government communications that were leaked. That's true, yes, but at the time we were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names are wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that, approximately this time last year in fact, when you were both still in Japan. Well, what? Can you please explain what is going on? It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets, because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping communications between the British and Japanese governments. You're perpetually doing what? How? Never mind the details, but you should know. No secrets safe from Herlock Sholmes when he has designs on knowing it. Oh my, Mr. Sholmes, what a fabulous line! Why are you doing this? Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was read to the recipient Jikoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. Oh. As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partially correct and partially mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow. Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know. Tell us about these 4 names and tragedy to which they're all somewhat connected. You mean the professor cases? The professor case? As I said, when I learned of Miss Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to these 4 names because you see, there was someone else on the list who I believe to be recently deceased. A. Shin. Asa Shin. As it was transcribed in Japanese script, in actual fact, Ms. Asa Shin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes. Oh, I see. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed, and accordingly it became fearful of the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list. K. Asogi and T. Gregson. And then Gregson died, so Kazuma is the next on the list. Oh my god. Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest for young Asogi to stay away from Britain. But he came to Britain anyway. Exactly. So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes. Oh yes, Sholmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I had recounted many tales about Asogi to in my letters, and the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course. So, Dr. Wilson's dead then? I didn't know. Oh, Iris. I know he wasn't my daddy, but still, that's very sad. Yeah. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. No. But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. Just one big hole in your hypothesis. A big hole, Mr. Naruto? Ah, yes. You mean about Asa Shin, I presume. Oh, of course. Exactly, she wasn't killed, was she? She was alive. Posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow, but I only became aware of the fact 2 days ago in the fire of the Great Waterloo Hotel. Ah! And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis I formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy. What topsy? Topsy hypothesis? What do you mean when you say hypothesis turned topsy, Mr. Holmes? I had believed all 4 names on the list to be names of victims. However, I was mistaken. Very much so. Asa Shin was the killer. But she did get killed though. So this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it? Indeed, I was seeing that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Then was Kazuma dispatched to kill Gregson? Her visiting student status was being merely a front. Ah! Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions, so the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asa Shin is because he was the target of assassination. By the British government? And forearmed with the knowledge fresh consideration of this telegram. Oh my god. Like, so the British government ordered Shin to kill Wilson in Japan, so the Japanese government took revenge and dispatched Kazuma to kill Gregson. Is that what you're talking about here? What do you mean? Well, does not strike you? There's another among the 4 who subsequently became a visiting student, Kazuma. Wait, you mean? But of course, a name you know only too well. You mean Kazuma? Oh, he did say in court earlier today. Yes, on 31st of October. Oh yeah, he went to Dunkirk. Oh my god. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now. Surely not. In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts, an international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange. But why? An assassin exchange? How could Kazuma possibly got something involved in something like that? Oh my god, this freaking game. Let's assume that we have 2 parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those 2 parties then make a contract to solve their respective assassination targets. Oh my god. That would then be an assassin exchange. So to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. Oh my god. It certainly does sound exchange, yeah. But what on earth is the point? Yeah, why? That the British assassin at least escaped conviction, thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. Oh yes, yeah, I remember. That was such a bullshit thing. Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our 2 countries, so the fact that it was brought into place was just intervention at the very highest levels. The highest levels? The government. These murders are 2 sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive, but by contractual agreement. As such, they appear utterly unrelated, yet in truth, the assassins are complicit in one singular devilish scheme. That dissociation and the safeguarded diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot. But wait a minute, Sholmes. If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Seishiro Jigoku at all, but Gregson. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson. What? Kazuma is here for Gregson? Yeah, it's in the paper. So Judge Jigoku wasn't actually the mark? Yes, it's exactly what it would mean. I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe. Mr. Sholmes. I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position, obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition, that he'd be transferring to Paris police and taking Gina with him. Yeah, I remember. It was in the 3rd case of this game. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is too much to take in. Oh my god. Let's talk about dinner time. Alright, everyone, just quiet enough about this serious talk for one day. Isn't it early? I mean, look at the time. Right, Iris, we must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. What preparations? Well, I think I shall make my way back to the hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember. It is a little bit sad though. I mean, I like the idea of you being my dad. Because then Susie would have been my big sister. I'm sorry, Iris. I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. I mean, you guys are like not related, but you guys are close as sisters, so I don't know. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Oh yes, without question. So, you'll teach me all the ways you know to throw Runo to the floor? Yes, yes, of course. It would be my pleasure. You didn't have to agree quite so readily. Oh, but wait a minute. If Susie's going to be my big sister, you could be my big brother if you want, Runo. Huh? I mean, yes, of course. If you help me, I'm glad to be your brother. Well done, Iris. You must always be mindful of feelings. I praise you so well. Because being sensitive is a strong suit naturally. Right, I'm gonna work extra hard for tomorrow now because it's for my big brother and sister. What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what? Hee hee! You'll just have to wait and see. Oh. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance. I'll do my very best, of course. No pressure. No pressure or anything. So the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths whilst posing new conundrums. The list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Shigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend and Soma become involved. I felt as though I had been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden, but at the same time, I felt sure I would see the light again soon. Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world standing steadfastly behind me. Oh, this is so sweet! Oh, I think this is one of the sweetest Ace Attorney games. To be continued! That was really sweet. Aww. That was so cute. Yeah, you're escaping out alone. You have your family with you.